Sweet. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. What up, what up, what up, what up, what up, what up? We're gonna try and hit some more stream raiders. I should probably change this. Well, I don't do stream pirates though. Hopefully you all got your drops. Drop, open up shop. Ooh, guess what? It didn't work. You nailed it. Where that boy go? There it is. Almost don't shoot. So, first in stream was Champra. Also, tier 1 for 15 months with a 7 in a row. Dropping by before I go sleep. I appreciate you stopping by. Much, much appreciated. This will probably be a shorter stream than usual anyway. Already lagging. The early 2000s life I'm living is literally gonna kill me. Blast from the past. See if my partner in crime comes back. There you go. That wasn't the right one. Da 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 da. So this is Ready or Not. You play a SWAT, and there's different situations and things that you can be thrown into, and you have to try and survive it as well as completing the mission. There's hostages and all sorts of stuff involved. Hold on, seems like I dropped something. I was trying to find it ever so discreetly, but it's like vanished. Got it. I'd help you commit war crimes and police brutality, but you know, live in the Stone Age. Yeah. For now. Just for now. Okay, getting situated. Okay. How's everybody's New Year going? I know we're all trying our best. Here, we'll do a single player one until I hear from a boy. And if any of you want to jump into the Discord, I am in the channel. We are, everything goes right now. Yes, I can. Return of the Mac. New Year is pretty much last year. Well, in hindsight, depending on how that goes, I guess, what's the word for it? Music. Did I get kicked out of my own? I think I did. Yeah. Doing something weird in Discord. There we go. We're in the gaming one. There we go. At least it's not like when COVID first popped off. That was weird. According to my phone, you ain't in any channel. Yeah, it did something weird. It kicked me out of my own channel. Alright. We'll roll with some bots for a sec. Bristol Cove. Neon. Yeah. Let's go to the club. As long as it's not as bad as when vid first popped up. Oh, I had Wi-Fi. Good times. Yeah. They started working me harder at my old job. Like, oh, well, now that no one's around, stuff that was going to take forever, we could just knock it out. Knock it out. Everything gets knocked out. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Let's see. No word yet. He'll probably pop in later. He might be cooking. Next thing would be I would just have to plug my headset into computer number 2, hopefully, and communicate with some randos. Right now, the headset you see here is so I can hear the game and everything, and then you guys can hear, and it doesn't go into my microphone. And my microphone is also here. But with this setup, it makes it a little bit harder setting up. Excuse me.
Talk reporting.
All right, let's go.
Copy. Coming to you.
Oh, I forgot to switch up my. Oh well, this is gonna go bad. I forgot to switch my thing up. I needed my little door checker thing. All right, so you should be able to clear an entire room before you ever step foot in that room, theoretically. We got bodies all over. So, when you have your establishment, you would hope to have cameras. Now, as a detective,
oh yes,
you see all these bullet holes and things here, and there's blood splatter, but there's no body. So that means people were getting moved around. What up, what up, what up? That Chrono?
I've come to burden you with my loneliness.
Welcome in. Step over the bodies. Alright.
I've come to give you all the benefit, all the validation of viewership without any of the analytics.
Analytics.
Analytics pay the bills, my guy.
I know.
I mean, well, maybe they. I know they pay the bills for Champ. I don't know about you or me. I know they don't for me.
Drop your knees.
All right. If there's anything I learned from earlier, you now have to check the rest of the room before you try and handcuff anybody, because they will pop up on you.
Did you really need to die to know you should secure your suspect?
No, so
Building cuffs and ready for trailers.
somehow
My brother,
they've
what was your name last?
they've programmed the AI to know when you're going to try and seduce somebody, and they will wait until they hear you slapping the cuffs on to make a move.
I mean, that sounds like a smart way.
Dub Demo.
That sounds like a smart way to get him.
Yeah. All right, let's go. We got more bodies here. Yep. Lots of phones going off. Bodies everywhere. In a real life situation like this, once again, what's up, Dub Demo? You're gonna take who you can alive, but you're gonna have to be ready to shoot to kill. Because there's 1, 2, let's just count here. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 plus bodies already, and we're not even out of the lobby. So it's shoot to kill time.
One thing I do love about Ready or Not, and there's not a lot of games that I can say this about. The AI, your teammates' AI, is actually really good.
Mm-hmm.
Like you want to run through solo, and they can clear a room to an acceptable level. I know that you might not know much about clearing the room, but
Make me shoot.
Where you at? Or did y'all get him? Boy, you better get down. See, get down. Get on the ground, dude. You gonna die.
Hands up now.
All right. So we have at least one enemy in there. By the way, if you guys saw the way I opened the door, you don't open the door standing in front of the door. That's how you get shot up. In real life, he's dead.
Hey, somebody got to be the breach man.
even then, you're in the corner. In real life,
look, in my MOS, we were trained to just flat out know that, like, hey, breach guy, you're the most likely to die.
Okay, so right now I've not been shot. Somehow he's alive. We know he's down here shooting, but where?
Speaking of getting shot, I saw the most infuriating TikTok the other day. This dude, and he did it all kinds of wrong, but he seemed to think that he could claim that, what was it? Well, okay, so this is the fucking really infuriating part, was that his TikTok videos were very inconsistent. Mm-hmm. So in the lead up video, he's like, we're gonna see if this number of plates, and it was like 5 of our plates. All right, Dre. I mean, like our plates. Like we put these plates in our vest plates. All right. Mm-hmm. He had like 5 of them wrapped together with a ratchet strap, and he was like, we'll see if this can stop a Barrett 50 cal sniper rifle round. But in his next TikTok clip where they actually do the firing, there's 2 less plates.
Oh, for sure. Dizzy, I haven't seen you in forever. I hope y'all doing good. Y'all just gotta let me know when you're playing.
And then
what kind of
this
plates were
motherfucker, they were our plates, dude. They were the same plates that we use in our IBAs.
Get on the ground now. Put your hands up.
And they didn't even look like they weren't even like the high class, air quotes high class, green deployment plates. They were the black. They looked like the black training plates. You know, the ones that can only stop like 3 7.62 rounds.
Hold on one second.
Right.
Hold on one second. I'm getting shot at from 2 different angles. One in front of me, one to the left of me.
Bend your gun.
All right, they got that guy.
Suspect is breathing but unconscious.
Talk to entry team. Roger that.
I shot
Medical assistance
one dude,
standing by.
but he had armor on, which makes everything a lot more dangerous. Is he? He's not down. Okay. So, cover me. All right, good. Our
Stay still.
civilian did not get shot. Okay, we'll do mostly on the weekends. Bet.
Civilian standing by.
So, dude, they position a guy with a Barrett 50 cal sniper rifle at a range from these plates that, like, the round would not reach its maximum velocity. So, number one, that's a red flag. If you're trying to be all like, how many plates will it take to stop a round? That's what I mean. And that's the kind of video they were doing.
Oh shit.
But even with their rigged ass system, in their video, you can see a hole. Because like they position these plates in front of a gel, like from Deadliest Warrior, one of those gel torsos. And in this fucking video, you can see a hole in the gel torso. And they're like, yeah, it didn't penetrate.
Fuck, man, they wouldn't move.
I've
Like,
never-
oh fuck. Hold that thought. Hold that thought.
And I ain't got a thought near me to hold.
All right, hold on.
That hose over there.
Fucking. Ah.
But unconscious.
They got in the way a little bit. I got shot in the hip
Standing by.
when I was trying to go back the other way.
But Dre, I know you weren't combat. You weren't combat arms, right?
I was artillery, so yes and no.
Oh yeah, you were. Yeah, you were.
I'm gonna say it
No, I was
is,
over-
but so you're infantry?
I was over here. I was over here thinking you was like Tomo.
Hands up now.
Nah.
Put your hands up.
No. Yeah, all right. Look. You don't get to be a. You don't get to have it both ways, Dre. You don't get to have the title of King of Battle and be all like, "Oh, was I really combat
No,
armed?"
because you're infantry. That's why I say, well,
You need to relax.
because I'll be like, yeah, it's combat arms, and then you'll be like, well, you were a pogue.
No. Infantry is always willing to admit that we need field artillery. Where the issue arises is when you think you're equal.
Somebody else fucking shot. I don't know where.
But still, like,
I'm listening.
can you give me a scenario where even if you, because you remember your kit, right? You remember your body
Yes.
armor, right?
I do.
All right. So imagine if instead of one front plate, you had 3 front plates.
Hands up above your head.
3.
If I shot you with a Barrett 50 cal sniper rifle from not like the range that puts the bullet at maximum velocity,
Stable.
Mhm.
Ready for evac.
Talk reporting.
that's a scenario that puts you at an advantage.
Standing by.
You think
But
it would
do you
stop
think
a
you'll
50
survive?
cal round? Yeah, nah.
Think you would survive?
Not on a 50 cal.
Let's pretend, just for the
Holy
sake of
crap.
blind luck.
Like me surviving just now.
I actually have personally met a guy who had a AK round hit his helmet center mass, and it went in and traveled around his skull instead of through it. Like he has a scar around the side of his head because the bullet went into his day pot and I guess it just followed the curvature of the helmet for some goddamn reason. Bullets sometimes do some weird, crazy shit.
Yeah.
Just very rare, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is there a scenario where a 50 caliber rifle round hits you center mass, and whether that bullet penetrates or not, you survive?
That's you are
Questionable
extremely
at best,
lucky for
right?
something like that. Yeah.
Because I mean, the pressure from that round passing next to you can liquefy an organ.
It was like the
But
club
this
from
TikTok
John
was
Wick.
like, oh yeah, a guy wearing your quote standard modern warfare loadout, or what the you know, the one, the modern, the Call of Duty that's open world, whatever it is.
Yeah.
They were like, that standard loadout, yeah, you could potentially survive a 50 cal round. No, you. I haven't been this angry at a video game in so goddamn long.
Yeah.
Like, I'm unreasonably angry about this, Ray.
The Call of Duty.
Like, there isn't a world where a 50 caliber rifle round hits you center mass
And you just keep going.
and live.
Yeah.
No, I would argue there's not a world where you live. Because, like, sure, maybe you can wear enough body armor that the bullet does not penetrate.
Above your head.
And
The bullet penetrating is only a small fraction of what happens. Like, the bullet on a 50 isn't even the most lethal part. That's like saying I didn't step on the landmine, so I'm fine. I was standing next to the guy that stepped on the landmine. I'm not fine.
Right. I
Like,
don't trust why that dude was just standing there with that bag.
it was Deadliest Warrior meets TikTok.
Stay quiet.
A match made in
It was
hell.
the most angry, sometimes frustrating thing I've seen in my life.
Talk to entry team. Copy entry team.
Like, I get
notifying trailers.
unreasonably frustrated by video game sound effects, and this didn't touch it at all. I feel like I'm not the only one. I feel like most vets get unreasonably aggravated at video game sound effects.
The sound effects don't do me as much as the unrealistic stuff.
The sound effects are part of the real. No, what I mean by the sound effects, like, you don't, like, whenever you're playing, and I don't play, I haven't, the last Call of Duty that I bought, we talked about this earlier, last Call of Duty that I bought new and played and really enjoyed was Black Ops 2.
So
But I've always
realistic,
had this
like,
complaint with all Call of Duty games, but at the end of the day, like, if it's a first-person shooter
Is it-
game
is it
and
the
you pull out a
Call of Duty?
1911,
looks like it, don't it?
like, if you pull out a 1911 in a first-person shooter and you pull that trigger and it doesn't sound like a 45, I don't know about you, but it bugs me to high hell.
So when you're playing Call of Duty and
Well, yeah, you can input anything in place of Call of Duty. I use Call of Duty as an example. You can use Battlefield. You can use whatever you want.
and let's say I have a gun and you have a knife, and I've shot you 2, 3, 4 times, but when you have the knife, you get in and you're able to kill me. And I'm like, realistically, yeah, maybe adrenaline carries you, but
No, realistically, physics is going to carry my ass backwards.
yes.
No, right.
I'm like, you're only gonna take so many shots.
I was honest to God about to sit here and try to be an infantryman and be all like, well, depending on your gun, depending on my armor. And then I thought about it for just a second longer. Like, no, actually, because, like, even if I'm just wearing the ultimate body armor, if you shoot me with a 9mm, like I'm still being hit with that full physical force force equals mass times acceleration. I'm getting hit with all of that. Like the laws of physics apply. That's why, like, a shotgun versus a guy in body armor is damn near as effective as a shotgun against somebody who isn't in body armor. You shoot somebody in body armor with a shotgun, they probably won't die. But they also probably won't get up for a very long time.
So where did this guy come from? That's weird. Okay, we can go upstairs.
Comfortable question the other day,
What's that?
and I'd like your input on it. In a battle rap, who do you think would win? Tupac or M?
In a battle rap?
Now, full disclosure, the person that posed this question to me, they said, like, they were like, you can substitute Tupac or Biggie. I say Tupac because I feel like Tupac was the better battle rapper than the better diss rapper than Biggie.
Drop it now.
Down.
I just think Tupac was the better rapper than Biggie in general. But
You
that's,
better not
that's
have been
not
a civilian. You better not have been a civilian.
Got a
Okay.
suspect.
I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure I saw a gun.
Copy that.
What the f- Ragdoll physics.
Like, if it came to a diss track battle,
Ammo. Okay.
do you think Pac would win, or do you think M would?
Okay. I think Eminem is one of the best battle rappers on a commercial
Hands down.
standpoint. On a commercial standpoint. There are a lot of battle rappers that are better than Eminem, but they can't really make the music like he does. Depending on who you watch as battle rap, the type of disrespect some of these people do, man.
Suspect is freedom.
They hit some.
You're getting into my point.
Like, I'm streaming. Whoa.
Hello. I was trying to be in your
you.
stream, so it went as bad as I thought it would.
See, they're shooting through the wood, and you're standing in my way. You better take him out or get out of the way.
You threw him in the wood?
What are you?
Roger that.
Look, friendly fire isn't friendly, but you're taking hostile fire now, so
Holy
if a friendly
crap.
gets hit.
What were you doing? You're just standing there, and the guy ran up to finish the job.
Talk to high ground.
Okay, so there's a battle rapper, and you'll probably be able to read between the lines, but he knew the guy he was going against had a young daughter, and he said that he would kidnap her and grow her up. And said that he would sell her.
For that conservative action.
He would sell her
Police, hands
into
up.
trafficking, and everyone would get to grow her up. And
Right.
went into details in some of this stuff and was using all sorts of language, and I'm like,
Don't shoot.
I could never be a battle rapper because I would want to fight this guy. Like, it was
So
pretty awful.
Someone is
you,
aren't they?
you unknowingly, you've activated my trap card and have unknowingly hit every nail that I had on the head. In that, because what you're pointing out is a good deal of the truth. In that, like some battle rappers, they can dish out that
Firing.
disrespect.
He's firing.
If it ain't you, you're wrong.
My team's just gone.
Hands up now.
Some battle rappers can dish out that disrespect like they're turning on a water tap.
Hands up.
What
No
happened
doubt.
over here?
Don't move.
What I think a lot of people forget about
Get
M
off of me.
is that you would really be hard pressed
High ground. Roger. Trailers
to
inbound.
say something that hasn't been said about him
Suspect is down.
or his daughter before.
Talk reporting.
And every time that it's been said, like personal attacks, specifically, let's talk about personal, like when people have battle rapped against M and they pointed out his, we'll call
Baby
it
mama,
colorful.
his daughters.
Oh no, his drug addiction, his alcoholism, his domestic violence. M's never shied away from any of that or made any excuses.
Mm-hmm.
Ever. He has quite literally always just like, if you were to bring that up in a battle rap, his response is gonna be all like, yeah, that happened.
Yes.
Like, he does not shy away, doesn't make it, he literally owns it, and I feel like that gives him an edge.
It.
Because like, it takes away a lot of your ammunition in that when you bring stuff up like that, and
It's
not just in a
essentially, you
rap
might as well say
battle,
it's like
not a
8
rap
Mile.
battle.
Like,
And
you
like,
can't say anything
even-
to him that he hasn't heard before or he won't say about himself.
Exactly.
at the same
It's
token-
just like trying to insult somebody that is self-aware. Like, take away the rap battle mindset and just think of talking shit to somebody. You got no shit to talk if everything you say, they're like, no, yeah, you right. And then they dunk on you.
Yeah.
And most people, the reason why people that have gone up against him have just defaulted to trash talking his past is because, be it consciously or subconsciously, they expect him to do the same thing that they would do. They expect him to make excuses. They expect him to justify his actions. They don't ever expect him to fucking own it.
Provide cover.
All right.
Yeah.
Like, whenever you're calling somebody out for being a garbage trash fire of a human being, you're calling them out because you expect them, at least if you're calling them out in an insulting manner, in a manner of like, I want the public to see who you really are, you're doing it with the expectation that they're going to make excuses. Right? I mean, you've done it in arguments with significant others in the past, I'm sure, just like I have.
We
Well,
lost
you keep
streamers.
spending money on this, that, and the other. And it's like, well, you buy fast food every day. And it's like stuff like that. It's literally the same as stuff like that. You're calling it out because you think that they won't recognize it as hypocrisy. You think that they'll recognize it as, well, this is different. But with M, you don't get that advantage. It's one of the only rappers that I've ever seen that you just don't get that advantage. And I throw that generalization for all the OGs. Like, a lot of them will make justifications for excuses, and M just
Eminem's
goes,
past,
"Okay."
though, that is weapons you can use against him, which makes it so it's people pretty much know what you're going to say to him. But he isn't in that same position to say things back to other people because I think he's become too successful to his own detriment when it comes to battle rap. Whereas,
I actually can agree with you on that because of the MGK incident.
yeah. Which
Like, when MGK released this against Eminem, me included, everybody was going, no, yeah, your career's over. MGK, your career's over. We don't know what M's gonna say, but we just know it's gonna be so fire that you change. Now, granted, with MGK, we were right.
switched genres.
This was so fire. He switched genres.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's some credit to be put there, you know. I mean,
Alright, Where's the last living person at?
You see where and me personally, I think I view Eminem a little bit differently. Like you said, like yeah, he's a damn good a battle rapist, but I've honestly never looked at him as a damn good battle rapist.
He,
I always knew he was.
There's some mixtapes out there from him in his 8 Mile, Michigan, Detroit days, and they're pretty nice.
Depends on which one. One of my ironically favorite Eminem mixtapes is the one that Benzino tried to use to sink him, where he was like 16 and had just gotten dumped by a black girl, and so he made a track about it.
That one, yeah.
Yeah, he didn't even say it slow. He was just like, "Fuck black chicks, they suck." That was essentially the rap.
I don't mean any disrespect.
Yeah, and he apologized, surprisingly.
No, yeah, just flat out came out and was like, yeah, no, I was a teenager. I had my heart broken. I felt shitty. That doesn't make this right. But like,
and I think that's why that didn't
doesn't
blow
make
up more.
right.
Because a lot of people, sometimes they make excuses, or they delay apologizing, or whatever you want to throw out there. He was just straight up like, hey, I messed up.
Let's be real, Benzino is.
Where did you come from?
Arkansas. How about you?
No, the security guy just came out of nowhere. I heard like wet footsteps behind me. Like, no.
Civilian is secured.
Talk to entry team.
I think
that's everybody.
If I had to make a dream battle rap
Excellent work.
battle,
Report to
me
Secretary.
personally, I would like to give me 4 songs
Hey,
from each
Pancake,
artist.
thanks for placing my favorite unit on the battlefield, the Epic Space Cowboy Mage. Woo-woo.
I gotta say shit like that, man. I forgot all about Stream Raiders.
I only got
Fucking
A.
miss Stream Raiders.
Unauthorized use of force where? Where?
But if I had to,
body.
if I could make a perfect fucking scenario, it would be 4 songs per artist, Jay-Z versus Eminem. I think that would, if I just got the liberty of God to craft some shit, that would be the battle rap I want to see. And I say 4 songs because, like, I don't think it's fair for it to just be 1 or 2 songs. Because 1 song, all right, then it's just whoever got the best opening shot. If you did it 2 songs, it would be decided by who had the best reply. 4 songs, all right, now we know for certain. I mean, there's no reason for those 2 to battle rap. I'm just saying, like, Jay-Z is kind of the king of the sneak diss. I feel like that diss.
I could see that.
What about you? You could make a battle. You could just make a battle. It doesn't even have to be a battle rap. Battle of the bands of any kind. What do you got?
So I like Jay-Z, and it's funny to me, like, I have never had Jay-Z in my top 5. However, I can't remember a time where Jay-Z didn't have a really nice song out there. But he, like, I don't know, he just never was one of my favorite rappers. And
A lot of Jay-Z's reputation is strictly reputation.
yeah,
It's not necessarily, if that makes sense. Does that make sense?
like, I can still rap some of the lyrics and everything, don't get me wrong there. But, like...
But, like, a lot of the respect Jay-Z got came from before he was a rapper, and it came from the fact that, like, Jay-Z was... It's same as Ice Cube, you know? Your reputation came from the fact that we all know you actually hard.
Yeah. Although, see, I liked a lot of songs from Ice Cube. Mainly Today Was a Good Day. Man, that is one of my all-time favorite rap songs, along with No Vaseline. Which to me
God,
is
No Vaseline
still
is my
the best
favorite.
diss track. Like, easily.
Oh, yes. And
Yeah.
for me, No Vaseline's a little bit bittersweet, right? Only because I feel bad for Eazy-E.
They take out the
Because, like,
crack house?
Eazy-E was a prodigy in my book. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Um, I have no love for Dr. Dre. Hot take, Dr. Dre is highly overrated.
Um,
Look, he's a damn fire producer, no doubt.
yeah.
He can make some fucking beats,
I think
no doubt,
he
no
has the
doubt. But
ability to
Dr.
make a
Dre
hit
cannot rap.
anytime he
His
wants.
flow is trash. His flow is trash.
Yes. As a
Like
rapper, no.
listening to this man rap, like his lyrics are good. I don't. I say that, take that with a grain of salt, because I'm not convinced they're all his lyrics.
I was gonna say you probably like the lyrics you like from Dre probably aren't even written by Dre.
I know, but
Because
Dre's
a lot
like,
of that was Ice Cube and Snoop and Exhibit and Cronden and some other people that have been coming out saying that they were writing for Dre or writing for whoever and whatnot.
but I will give Dre where I will give, like, I don't give a fuck if I hate you. I'll give you credit where you're due. Dre can make. He's a damn good musician.
Mm-hmm.
The man makes beats that are eternal.
Oh, this is the crazy
Talk to Element. Entry team.
conspiracy theorist house. You probably haven't seen this one yet, have you?
Roger, I'm coming to you.
It might look like your home.
No,
Not like where you live, but I mean like the state.
Why you gotta be personal like that? Why you gotta just like
So
come
last
at me with
time,
shit? I heard that you were calling
Yep,
me
there it
a
is.
ogre, and you got some of me.
I was gonna say last time I did this, the minute we started walking up here, they started shooting.
But yeah, like for me,
it's the
like
hill
Dre
folk.
has never. Now I will say this: there are a few numbers where Dre was featured that, like, Dre's feature was good.
You have to do this after what they did to you.
But no, like, yeah, I feel like too many people think that Dr. Dre is just an OG GOAT rapper simply because he was a part of NWA. And it's like, no, dude, his flow has always been trash.
There's like booby traps and shit in his house. Whoa! There they come. Boy, you almost got shot. Better stop playing with me.
I wish I could do exciting shit.
Alright, who's dead at the door? And who's dead on the floor?
And who wants some more? Come get it, you whore.
Ooh, you one of mine? Okay. Now show self.
Proceed with your mission.
Alright, that's fine. Yeah, don't build off that. Don't build off those fire lyrics. That's fine.
Yeah.
You really are named Gray.
Yeah, I think that's one of mine. He took out, see? You ever see a CPU get taken out? Now you have. So these guys are like completely against the government, and they were collecting files and things, and they were gonna try and do a coup. Alright, I want to save the basement for last. They even have like a QAnon thing, slideshow with targets and everything. There's a guy calling me a motherfucker somewhere. I swear you were on the ground. He was on the ground laying there. What the hell?
I love my oldest sister, but god damn it, sometimes she pisses me off. So I found this TikTok video of this person that's like a self-identified narcissist, and like that's their bad, right? They're like, well, and it's not them being narcissistic; it's more of them recognizing that they are a narcissist and dealing with that and how to recognize a narcissist. And as I'm watching this TikTok, I'm like, is this fucking me? So I sent it to my older sister. I sent it to my older sister, and I'm like, is this fucking me? Because my wife is like, no, that's not you. But I don't believe her because she's my wife and she loves me. So I'm going to send it to my sister. And my sister's like, no, I don't fucking know. I didn't really know your dad. So maybe like a lot of this shit could be anybody. Maybe it's you. Maybe it's not. Maybe not. Probably not. Like, thanks, sis. Spent my whole childhood treating me like shit, and now you're just gonna cushion me and be all like, oh, probably not a narcissist.
Okay. In my world, I would rather search down below before I work my way up instead of going up then working down. So
I'm the opposite. I'd like to start from the top down.
See, there's no exit on the top, but down below.
Sure there is. On the roof.
Aw, see this door.
You rappelled up, rappel down. Don't be a bitch.
All right, where you at?
Well, that's right. That's right. You were field artillery. You didn't have a use for air assault.
Whoa! Whoa, buddy! Get back! Get out of my way! What are you doing? I know y'all heard the shots. He has a shotgun or something. I wonder if this is gonna work. This is probably a bad idea. This is where I die.
Ah, jeez!
Where is he? Is he in the walls? Oh my god, I'm about to die. Because I can't see him.
Spray and pray. Spray and pray.
You wanna fuck with me?
Oh, he's out here cussing. Oh, no, you do not. You sure the hell don't. All right, good. That's one. Somebody has a shotgun, though. Woo!
What about
Suspect
this
completed out.
bitch?
Needs medical aid.
Oh, he's not dead. That's surprising.
Medical assistance is standing
You
by.
played the PS4 Spider-Man, right?
I won. I have. I was the last guy.
Reporting. Copy that.
Did MJ annoy the fuck out of you?
Great job.
He says homeboy dressed like a bird, and then that board says satanic orbital fluid extraction. Yeah, they're conspiracy theories. Only got a B. That's not fair. I didn't die. But did who annoy me?
MJ. Mary Jane.
A
Redhead.
yes and no. She didn't annoy me like bad, but her missions were kind of put in the game at weird points. Like
I think her missions are just shitty.
yeah, well they're the
Like
same.
I'm about to
Leader
do
Lost.
I'm about to do the first MJ mission because I started me a new file on the hard difficulty, and Like, just the idea, there is constantly throughout the game, and it wasn't until this mission started that I remembered it. It wasn't throughout the game. There is this constant overarching theme, almost like a subplot, that MJ has to fucking prove that she's equally capable to, the radioactive Spider-Man.
Okay. That
And
makes
it
sense.
annoys. First of all, I've always preferred Gwen over Mary Jane personally, so maybe I'm
It's
biased.
fair. And
I'm willing to admit that.
I think my thing was they finally made her character like do stuff instead of just being Peter's
Damsel.
eye candy. Yeah. So I didn't
So-
mind that she wasn't just a damsel in distress. And I did not mind that they didn't just kind of make her how they made her. What was I watching? It might be the Spider-Man one on the Disney show or something like that, where she magically knows kung fu now and can like help take bad guys down
Talk
and
to element.
like.
Okay, so that's actually.
Suspects have taken refuge in the
Okay,
area.
so I'm actually a huge. I'm a really big Spider-Man fan.
Mm-hmm.
In the comics, at a certain point, that we'll call, and I don't know if it would actually be applicable, but we'll call it a Mary Sue moment just for the sake of brevity. MJ gets her Mary Sue moment in the comics, and it's, I believe it's chopped up because she's been taking women's self-defense courses, and that's
Yeah.
kind of how it started.
Trailers incoming.
Which again, I don't.
As if a women's self-defense course is going to just prepare you for thugs in a robbery.
Yeah. And again, I don't mind
Putting
it.
yourself
Like,
against strength in sexual assault is the same as I have a gun, get on the ground and give me your money.
yeah.
Same thing, really. Just kick him in the balls.
Shoot, that guy's gone.
I think I feel shitty for saying this, but she's too independent in the wrong way in this Spider-Man game. And it's because she's trying to be equal with Peter in his own field. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Like, I love me a strong, independent woman that don't need no man. I love them. I don't love a woman that is just trying to prove that she can do the same job as the superpowered man
Yeah.
is not a strong or independent woman. At least in my opinion. I could be very wrong. Maybe if your chat has corrections, I'd love to hear them. I've always felt a little misogynistic about this opinion.
No.
Because it feels like a weird opinion to have. Like, nah, MJ's just trying too hard to be a badass.
Put your hands up.
But like, she has her own talents. She has her own fields.
Get on the
And I understand wanting to get her away from being a damsel in distress. I frankly don't understand. I wish we could just quit focusing on Mary Jane personally, because again, I'm more of a Gwen fan, but
ground now.
which is really funny just because I actually prefer Redhead.
We lost a civilian. Repeat, civilian killed.
Talk to
We
entry
lost
team.
a civilian. She was throwing hands at me. Are you kidding me? That's assault.
That's what happens when MJ gets too strong and independent.
There. 2 on the chin for you.
When MJ gets too independent, that's whenever she gets shot by the police.
Alright. But
Police, hands
so
up.
the one in there, I don't think it bothered me that much compared to the other ones, but I could definitely see where you were coming from on it. And
Well, okay, so I was already bitter whenever I first saw MJ in this game, simply because it's so tired. It's does that make sense? Like for long-term Spider-Man fans, like we all know MJ's always going to be a factor, but like there were like MJ was the first love interest.
Kind
And
of.
there were several significant, powerful, and I mean powerful both in the power-wise, ability-wise, and storytelling capability. There were far more better love interests than MJ that came after her. There was Gwen Stacy, Black Cat, there was Elektra.
Now, did you play any of the DLC with Black Cat?
Incoming. Proceed with caution.
I have not yet.
She is pretty scummy.
Black Cat's always been pretty scummy.
No, this.
Talk
She's
reporting.
Catwoman, but without actual morals.
So,
That's always been Black Cat.
Suspect is
yes and no.
unconscious.
Alright, spoiler alert for everybody.
Medical
Well,
Do it.
standing by.
She's like, oh, by the way, I have a kid now, and runs away. And he starts chasing her, like, what do you mean you have a kid now? And she's like, oh, yeah,
Is
he
it
was
mine?
born.
Is it mine? Did you
Yes,
from the finger bang?
She's like, well, I'm not gonna tell you if it's yours or not. You're just gonna have to help me. It's like, yo. So he keeps alluding to it, and then Mary Jane finds out, and is like, so what's going on with you and Black Cat? And goes, well, I found out she has a kid. Like, okay, well, what about the
And it
kid?
might
And he
be
goes,
fun.
do you remember when me and you were on that break? She's like, yeah. He's like, well, we sort of messed around. Yeah. She's like, so it's a possibility it could be yours. He goes, I think so, but she won't tell me. So for like, how long is this DLC? I don't know, like 6 hours or something. It's kind of like, just let us know if it's his baby or not. Like, he's gonna help you regardless because it's in his code, but she won't tell you until like the very end.
So you've inadvertently touched on one of my biggest criticisms of Spider-Man.
What?
It's not that exciting, dude. I have criticisms.
Nah, I thought I had more bullets and I didn't.
Yeah, most people do when they come for me. I'll tell you like I tell everybody else, don't miss. No, okay, so if you look at things in the right angle, and what I mean by that is timeline of release date of issues of comic,
Suspect killed.
Talk to element.
there are a lot of points in Spider-Man's history where Marvel seemed to be trying to make Spider-Man your friendly neighborhood happy. That Black Cat DLC that you just described is pulled from the comics,
Collect what
Yeah.
you can. Report to talk for debrief.
and it's pulled from comics that were heavily criticized for copying DC for doing,
With
because of how
Batman.
Amy it
And
now.
yeah,
I can't remember it. I can't remember the woman's name.
Talia.
For the life of me.
Talia al
Yeah,
Ghul.
yeah, that's it. Talia al Ghul.
Copy.
And that's
Coming
not
to
the
you.
only parallel between Spider-Man and Batman. There's
Refuge and are refusing to
a
cooperate.
weird
Move in.
number,
Remember your ROE. Let's secure the area.
Yeah.
like in weird areas. It's not an area. It's never in areas you would expect, which makes it weird. But me personally, I have trained my brain to just be like, oh yeah, you did this in response to that, and then I just discard shit.
Suspect Suspect is bleeding.
That's not a good excuse for Black Cat and Peter's storyline, but
Sailors are standing by.
But
the only one I got.
so she lies the entire time. And then eventually she says, okay, now that you've helped me through all this, it's not yours. I was messing with you. And he's like, well, whose is it? She goes, well, you don't know him. And like escapes.
The suspect is
So
expired.
technically,
This is talk.
it's still a possibility that it could be his, but
Keep moving.
who knows?
I'm of the personal opinion that the only reason anyone's ever liked Black Cat is because she was hot.
Yes. Well, that and the
She quite give me a redeeming quality.
she is the
Tell me why. Tell me a reason I should like Black Cat.
What the fuck?
Not even as like a fan of comic books. Like if Black Cat existed in the real world, why should I like her?
why can't
Don't
I
worry,
kick it
I'll
open?
wait.
Shut up. You like that? You like that? Huh? You like that?
They treating me
Are
the
you
way
done?
Black Cat
Are
Peter
you
is
done?
going to prove a point.
At least you're alive this time. At least you're alive this time, huh? At least you're alive this time, huh?
Look, treating me like Black Cat treats them isn't going to help.
Well, I ran out of bullets. You come at me, you know what's happening.
Get on the ground. Hands up. Drop to your knees. Please get down.
Thank you. This lady took a whole freaking can of mace. Like it was nothing.
What have you done to my house?
What have you done to my house?
This is talk. Roger, entry team.
I could
Great
do it.
work.
I could do it. Nobody would blame me. Nobody would blame me.
Maybe that's why people actually like Black Cat. Maybe it's
So-
because maybe the people that like Black Cat just recognize that Peter's a sub and she's a Bendham, and that's
Yes.
just their relationship.
Yes.
Peter just likes to be domed.
Yes. I can agree with all this. I would say I like that. Yeah, she's a dom. And
Which I'm
She-
not. I'm a dom,
she
and
helps
so like
Peter
that
grow up
doesn't
in
stop.
more than one way.
Yeah, but like
What are you doing over here? Plus, some of her
We've got this under control.
action feats are pretty cool. And then they added in that power of good luck or
I
something
will
like
never
that.
deny. I just want to point out. I'll never deny that. Yeah, no, Black Cat is cool. I can dislike you as a character and still think you're cool.
True. Oh shoot! I was just about to start shooting.
Doesn't
Raze.
happen very often. I was about to like start listing villains, but then I realized that they were villains that I like. Kingpin, like I like Kingpin, and he's cool.
Kingpin is a cheater, and there's no consistency with his powers to me. Even though you're not supposed to have
First
powers.
off, first and foremost, Kingpin has never been shown to have powers. Second of all, there is nothing but consistency with Kingpin. I would love to hear your so-called inconsistencies.
There's no reason. Like he's supposed to just be like a really, really strong dude, but
It's 450. Hold on. I want to stop you right there. They're a really strong dude. He's 450 pounds
of muscle.
with
Talk to element.
with 1% of his body mass being fat.
Cooperate. Entry team, you are
Yeah.
clear to proceed with the
Do you
Coming to
understand
you,
what
sir.
that means?
So, Spider-Man has super strength, and
That means
Captain America
1 pound of him is
is
fat.
souped up, and he will fight these people, like going toe to toe. Now, that being said, you could argue Daredevil's usually his main antagonist or whatever. And Daredevil,
Yeah, we'll go with Dare. We'll lean in that way.
So
It goes back and forth between Daredevil and Spider-Man. It depends on who you're talking to and at what generation.
which I thought they said
Like
when he first came out.
I don't recognize Kingpin as Daredevil's main villain. I reckon from because of when I grew up. The era that I grew up in, Kingpin was Spider-Man's main antagonist.
Yes, but I think comics-wise and whatever, he originally was Daredevil's in a way, but
Proceed with your mission.
he fights Daredevil both in costume and out of costume, because he's tried to take him down legally. And
does he fight Daredevil out of costume, or does he fight Matt Murdock?
yeah,
Yeah, nerd power, bitch.
because he's the reason Matt Murdock's dad was supposed to take the fall or whatever, and all that good stuff.
Yeah, they did. Forgot about that.
And then if you grew up like 90s Spider-Man with the electric guitar from Aerosmith or whatever.
Well, fun fact. Originally, when Daredevil first came out, it wasn't the Kingpin did it. It was just Daredevil's dad pissed off mob bosses.
Yeah.
That was all it was. It wasn't. Nobody named anybody. It was just mob. It was just Daredevil's dad was supposed to take it.
Like if he would have just took the fall like he's supposed to, we wouldn't be in this mess.
Talk copies all. Proceed with your mission.
Actually, real talk. It's
Roger, entry team.
if you're interested in the alternate timelines kind of side of comic books, the Daredevil's dad doesn't take a dive is one of the more interesting ones.
Now, drop your knees.
Think about how much that changes.
Don't move.
Yeah.
Stay put.
Because
So,
at the end of the one thing that I'll give you just a little bit of a sneak preview. The one thing that doesn't change is Matt Murdock still becomes an amazing attorney.
Yeah.
So imagine an attorney with Matt Murdock's ability and determination, but
And he
without
can
that
see.
strong.
No, I'm just kidding. There's always a chance he'd go blind, but
Now he can see, and he doesn't give a fuck. Big difference between evil and good Matt Murdock is good Matt Murdock gives a fuck. That's about it.
Police, hands
boy,
But
I hope you.
I will say that, like, I feel like you're throwing a little shade on Kingpin. I feel like you're not giving enough credit to somebody that if you punch them in the gut, it would break your hand.
So, for normal people, yes. But he's fighting superpowered people on even ground.
400. Well, okay, so first of all, also, Kingpin isn't just strong, he's smart.
Don't move.
Criminally smart. Yeah.
No. Martial arts smart, too. He is actually, I believe, a master of jiu-jitsu.
Talk report.
Yeah.
Roger, entry team. Great
Which-
work. Keep going.
When you are quite literally 450 pounds of quite literal solid muscle, being a master at jiu-jitsu, that's a fucking threat.
Where are y'all shooting at?
You're right.
another
He
door
does
there.
often come up. He does often come up against superpowered beings. About a quarter of the superpower beings that Kingpin has come up against, he can quite literally break their spine with a hug.
Yes. And he's done
He
that.
has broken their spine with hugs.
Copy. EMTs have
It's hard. I feel like you're downplaying the lethal hug man a little too much.
I'm not downplaying it. It's just like he's so strong, like ridiculously strong.
And smart. And smart.
Yeah.
Let us not stop that. No, I feel like that's an utilized aspect of his character.
Not counting Daredevil, I don't think there's anyone that goes against the Kingpin and lives and like doesn't have
Spider-Man
super
and
abilities.
Hulk.
Who?
No, it doesn't have super abilities. Okay. Well, Daredevil has super abilities. Fuck you.
Oh,
Get
God.
down.
Oh,
Yeah.
hurry up.
It's not just that he has the above average hearing of your
Senses.
average blind guy.
No, there's census.
Where's Janie?
Not the case at all.
Ready for trailers.
Talk to entry team.
He has the power to see
Trailers
red.
incoming. Proceed with caution.
He has the power of sound. Wait, like he can like utilize sound like Black Bolt? No, like he can hear real good.
And a really good
Speaking
tailor.
of Black Bolt, oh my God, my brother, oh my God. So I day before yesterday, I finally got around to watch the second Doctor Strange movie.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not happy.
You didn't like it?
I wouldn't go that far. Like, if I can ignore everything that I know, it's fun.
We've got
So-
this under control.
If you wanted to
Now,
like the
hold on,
comic,
hold on.
yeah.
Janie.
No, let me offer my criticisms that don't involve the comics,
Okay.
Entry team.
or that don't involve the powers that the people that were in it should have had via the comics. My biggest complaint about the second Doctor Strange movie is that it is
Whoa.
I'm sorry, I didn't think I had said anything controversial yet.
What the Are you kidding me? Okay.
No.
That's what we doing? This is why I be double tapping y'all in the head. Right there. Right there.
Roger that.
Guy
Medical
tried to
assistance is
pull a
standing by.
pistol on me. I shot him twice, and he acted like he was giving up. I'm like, okay. Then he fucking shot me and runs off. I'm like, okay, I guess we're just gonna have to kill you then. Boy,
So-
what are you watching in here?
My biggest issue with the Doctor Strange movie is that it is the most blatant showcase of the biggest problem with MCU movies I have ever seen in my life. And that is that in order to showcase how powerful any particular being is, yes,
Hey, what?
they nerf everyone else.
Oh, nerf everybody? Yeah. That's what he started.
Sorry, I stepped, my phone's on the charger in the house. I stepped out on my front patio to take a piss.
Affirmative, entry team.
One of the few benefits of living in the boonies. No, okay, and a perfect example of this, and I mean, you've seen Multiverse of Madness, right?
Of course.
Okay, good. Making sure I didn't spoil anything. So that's the first MCU movie that is in existence that actually does a good job of showcasing just how powerful Scarlet Witch is, right? Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
Okay. So let me ask you this. In that movie, we watch Black Bolt with a soft-spoken couple of words obliterate Doctor Strange from existence, right?
Yeah.
But the fact that he doesn't have a mouth suddenly makes his brain implode.
That's a good point. I agree. Ryan says that's a good point. I agree. And what mouth?
He can quite literally de-atomize human beings by going, in this volume and tone, I'm sorry. And he de-atomizes Doctor Strange, but you remove the fucking hole he's supposed to shovel blueberry pie in, and all it does is implode his brain.
Drop the damn gun.
Now, in terms of Scarlet Witch destroying the Illuminati, that's honestly the only issue I have, because Yeah, actually, Scarlet Witch would be able to dismantle Mr. Fantastic really fast.
All right. So to answer your thing on that,
Talk reporting. Roger
I
that.
think the main argument was that universe, those heroes have become too cocky and didn't want to be told anything. The fact that they were like, okay, this is a Doctor Strange from a different universe, and he told them what would happen, and he's like, hey, I don't even have to be the one to do it, but you guys need to get ready, like this is serious. And they did not want to listen. They were showing how cocky they were. And Scarlet Witch, which they don't really show her intelligence as much in these movies, in my opinion.
Hey, what the hell?
But she immediately in that whole movie, she picked up on people's flaws, which is something that in the comics and stuff she does that a lot as well, because it's not just witch powers. Like she also can
she's
read
a literal
minds
master of manipulator of reality.
So the minute they all came out to face her, and he was like, I forget what Reed says about Black Bolt, and he folds his arm and smiles. In the time it took him to fold the arm and smile, she was already reading all of them.
Okay, so I can tell you exactly what went down.
She was toying with them as well.
With a sentence, he goes, Black Bolt could eliminate you with a word from his mouth, and she goes, what mouth? And then all of a sudden, the camera pans over Black Bolt, and his mouth is gone, and he feels it. But then he feels it, and then Black Bolt panics. Now, then, I'm gonna stop right there.
Granted, Scarlet Witch had the book that made this stronger.
Black Bolt panicking is a good testament to exactly what you're saying, that they were way too cocky. However, when he panics, the way Black Bolt dies is he panics and he goes and screams.
So it's all that energy that he uses to use his power, it has to go somewhere, right?
He used less energy and eliminated a human being on an atomic level not 10 minutes prior in the movie.
So did you want... So...
He walked up in front of Dr.
Do you think he should have, like,
Strange
exploded or what?
I think that they should have just found a better way to kill him than to have him kill himself.
I would say when he... I think he should have died the same way, but I would argue... I would agree with you. I think he should have a black hole almost, where it starts where his mouth is supposed to be, and it kind of explodes from the inside out. And from that point, I think the other one should have been like in a shock, and then she should have dismantled them, but it would have been too easy that way, I guess.
If we're gonna give my real criticism, it would involve changing a whole lot of... It would involve changing the rating of the movie, because in reality, if Black Bolt's gonna die the way that movie killed him, he doesn't have a skull left.
No, he should have been, like I said, like a complete black hole. Oh, you mother trucker. He was waiting for me.
That being said, but like just before that scene, dude, they just walk in front of a Doctor Strange and go, I'm sorry, in a normal tone, in a normal volume, and it obliterated the man.
And if he come to that door, kill him.
I'm supposed to believe that this superhero that could talk to you in an inside voice and obliterate your very existence on an atomical level, I'm supposed to believe that the fact that there's not a hole for his sound to escape from where his mouth should be, that's enough to stop him. Is that what I'm supposed to believe?
Yeah, it's
not that it would obliterate the
out
fucking
of his eyeballs,
flesh.
And
Not even that. It would just obliterate the flesh. Because, like, you know what's funny is that all she did in that movie was seal his mouth. Notice how his jaw is still moving.
Yep.
Right? Implying he still has a fucking mouth, and it's just a piece of fucking flesh.
So you think it would have shot out like?
I think it absolutely would have obliterated the obstacle. Yes. And that even if it, and you know what? Now that we're talking about it, that would have been a better way to kill Black Bolt. Would be that his power absolutely does still affect, like he still gets to use his power on Scarlet Witch, and it absolutely damages her. But, you know, because there's a fucking hole where his mouth was, that power is, what's the word I'm looking, diluted.
Yeah.
And so she would have taken some damage, which would have lended a little bit more weight later on in the film.
Dark. This is dark. Not you, the game.
It would have
yes,
lended.
We are being dark too, but
yeah, because
God.
I was excited when they introduced the Illuminati. I'm a little bit pissed that they had introduced an alternate universe Illuminati and didn't just. Well, I say I'm a little pissed. I'm not actually. Like, maybe they should have put Tony Stark in that Illuminati. Maybe, I don't know.
So
when
they originally
the Illuminati that got killed, I'm supposed to just believe that the greatest telepath that the universe has ever known,
Xavier,
got his neck broke by Scarlet Witch in a bullshit crap.
It didn't break his neck. She ripped his head in half.
Suspect is breathing, but unconscious.
Well, in the comics, but not in the movie.
No, in the movie, she ripped his head in half. I'll have to try and find the video again, but somebody slowed it down, and it literally, like the top of his skull, she rips like to the left, and then like from his nose and mouth down, she ripped to the right. But it's like, you gotta watch it like frame by frame almost.
But you still expect me to believe that she snuck up on Charles Xavier in a telepathic way.
The Darkhold made her extremely powerful. Yes, so the Darkhold is what really did it.
Darkhold was destroyed by that point.
But I won't say she snuck up on him. He knew she was coming, and he was helping hold her back for a little bit. But he also,
correct me if I'm
wasn't
wrong,
trying to kill her for some reason.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but her copy of the Darkhold was destroyed by the time she did that. She was operating on Cavern.
No, it wasn't. She was dreamwalking, and she was at the creation point of the Darkhold.
Yeah, you're right. It was right after the Illuminati died that was when.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you're right.
Like that was MCU peak strength, Scarlet Witch.
But for everybody that wants to bring up, oh, well, she was powered up by the Darkhold. Okay, did the Darkhold allow her to just destroy the Darkhold across the entire multiverse? Because that's not how the multiverse works.
Yeah.
Destroying the cavern that the Darkhold was written in your universe doesn't destroy the Darkhold in every fucking universe.
Nope.
Just like if I were to fucking put a gun to my head right now and pull the trigger, it would not kill the me in every universe.
Who killed you?
It would just kill me in the universe.
Who killed you? What the? All right, one of my guys just died, and I didn't even hear a gunshot. And then Ryan says she was able to dreamwalk because she had the Darkhold. Yes, the Darkhold made her do crazy stuff, and a lot of it doesn't make sense. And then he also agrees with what you're saying. Which,
so
I don't know if we were still in the chat or not. But, yeah. Have you followed Ryan, by the way?
I may.
Ryan's a good guy.
I'd be in a position to. I'm in a weird position to where I can't hit my.
I'm gonna give him a shout out as soon as I get a minute, but apparently they're dropping bodies and I didn't hear the shot, so now I'm kind of concerned. You know how it goes in this game.
For all of your chat, I'm in this weird position where I don't have fucking Wi-Fi.
Yeah, he's in a sticky situation right now. There's gonna be a guy over here somewhere. I hate
I just
this.
booted back up your screen. I don't get to see any of Ryan's.
I hate this. I hate
That's
this.
I want to see this. I would love to have a discussion about this goddamn movie because this movie doesn't make any sense within its own internal
Police,
logic.
put your hands up.
So, I used to complain about a lot of things as well, and now I find I have to try and pick and choose a little bit more because the MCU pretty much nerfed everyone except Captain Marvel.
Civilian good to go.
Yeah.
Back.
Yes.
Not if you watch the second fucking Doctor Strange movie. There's a whole universe as Captain Marvel that it's fucking white,
So,
which I'm fine with. I'm honestly
You know
fine
what?
with that. Again,
now
Scarlet Witch, but
when you say that,
my point is the entire Illuminati goes up against Scarlet Witch, and
Yeah.
she dismantles them with no problem. And I'm not saying that a fully powered Scarlet Witch couldn't beat the Illuminati. What I'm saying is that the
All I need is a hard
MCU
drive
has
now.
this terrible fucking habit of nerfing insanely powerful characters in order to make other characters seem stronger. And while Scarlet Witch probably could have taken out the Illuminati, it would not have been anywhere near as easy as they made it
Here we go.
appear.
Collecting evidence.
Alright, I just need the secondary hard drive now. So, the Captain Marvel from the Illuminati universe, which was,
It was some alternate Captain Marvel we have no
was it
story about. We don't know
Monica
the
Rambeau?
story.
I
Yeah.
feel like
I don't
they made her way too weak compared to like Brie Larson's Captain Marvel, and they
Captain Marvel is supposed to be one of the strongest superheroes in the Marvel.
they even had her go binary and like treated it like trash, in my opinion. And I'm like, she should have, I don't know, because Scarlet Witch does
Captain
have
Marvel
like the
is
ability to
supposed be able
take
to
out.
hold her own against
and modify
Thanos
stuff.
with the Infinity Stone for a time.
Yeah. And they just kind of was
Oh,
like,
yeah,
oh,
yeah.
she's
Like,
dead
people have
because
their
they
own
dropped a
for time.
statue on her. And I'm like, dropping a statue on Captain Marvel should not be the way she
Oh
goes
my
out.
god, when that happened, I legit expected her to come back.
Yeah. If you would have showed Scarlet Witch grab her and literally rip the power source from her very soul, I would have appreciated that more than dropping a statue on her. Because
Yes.
someone who's super powered up, I guess you could argue she was weakened or whatever, but the statue shouldn't have killed her. No. She was just ripping through spaceships and stuff. We're talking about somebody post Thanos.
Outliving Reed Richards?
Yes.
Captain Carter outliving Reed Richards. Are you kidding me?
And she was toying with what's her name? Why can't I think right now? The Captain Britain. What's her name? It's leaving me.
Captain Carter.
Captain Carter.
That's what they call it.
Toying with her. There's no way in hell she should have been able to put up a fight against Scarlet Witch. That's not her lane. That's not her lane.
I just wanted to give you a little bit of hope because this universe is Captain America.
Yes.
You like Captain America, don't you?
But that's not their lane. Like there's absolutely nothing she literally could throw at Scarlet Witch that could compete to that. So I don't
No,
know.
you can turn that fucking shield into Snowflake. Literally Snowflake.
And then Ryan said Nerf and Doctor Strange, Thor, Thanos, Hulk. Yeah. Hulk is getting weaker and weaker every damn iteration. I can't even just say movie anymore. In everything.
At least with Hulk, okay. At least with the Hulk, we have a in-universe consistent reasoning for the nerf.
Why is that?
His strength, because his strength. You're over here just saying like Hulk is getting weaker and weaker and weaker and weaker. Hulk's physical strength is getting a little bit weaker, and I mean a little bit, but he's getting smarter and able to maintain strength and intelligence.
Well,
so I'm willing to buy that. I'm willing to buy that.
is that it though? Because it's more like it's the Professor Hulk and Banner Hulk. Actual Hulk, I don't think we've seen since Infinity War. He is
Realistically, they're just combining different versions of different Hulk and making one. That's what they're doing.
Because it's all just Mark Ruffalo at this point. He said, I think they're setting up for World War Hulk. Yeah, that's what I'm hoping. But like,
yeah, I mean, that'd be nice.
If you want to count She-Hulk, which I did enjoy She-Hulk, but like she throws her rock, he throws his rock in anger, and it goes super far. Like, it shows he still has the strength there, but he's just not doing anything. He's in control of it, but he's just choosing not to do it, I guess, for some reason. I cannot find this last hard drive. He's just, I don't know. They're using him as comic relief. And I don't know. I feel like the Hulk is better than being reduced to just fucking comic relief.
Absolutely is. That being said, I would like to point out that even in the comics, the Hulk is either comic relief or a drama. Just
turn Thor into a punchline. Yeah.
Drama. The comics all too often make Thor into either comic relief or the world's greatest internal threat.
Yeah.
And if you don't believe me, Planet Hulk is kind of, in my opinion, the epitome of showcasing you don't know what to do with this.
Yeah. All right, I can't find this hard drive. I feel like I've been everywhere.
Because I mean, think about it. They in the Planet Hulk storyline is that the Avengers basically tricked the Hulk,
banned him from the Earth,
and banned him from the Earth, sent him off into space. His spaceship, fucking for some reason or another, ends up on the wrong planet, where it's basically now the Hulk is Spartacus.
Yep.
And that Hulk that you see on Planet Hulk is just an intelligent Bruce Banner that has some slight anger issues.
On your 6.
Like, I have as severe anger issues as the Hulk from Planet Hulk.
Mm-hmm. Alright, yeah, I've been everywhere.
I just don't think they know what to do with that character. I don't think they know how to balance the Hulk in a way where the Hulk isn't the centerpiece, which I can imagine is I bet that's a hard thing to do.
So the way they did it in the
could
first
technically
Avengers
take down
movie,
all the Avengers.
the first Avengers movie, and even Age of Ultron, I think, somewhat handled Hulk the right way. Infinity War Hulk, where he gets beat up by Thanos and decides not to come out anymore, I think that was out of character.
Yeah, this Hulk that's just afraid to get his ass beat.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fucking weird.
I feel like in the comics I've read and the media I've seen with him, anyone that beats him on a strength level, he's coming back harder and stronger than ever. Thor Ragnarok Hulk was my favorite. Yes,
now,
I can agree with it.
Hold on. Let us just agree that we could see what the producers were trying to do. They were trying to showcase that Thanos with stones was so powerful that even the Hulk was afraid of him. Like, we can agree that that's what they were trying to do.
Yeah.
They failed horribly because you did nothing. You did absolutely nothing to show me that Thanos possesses any power that is capable of making the Hulk so afraid that he just wouldn't Hulk.
Yeah. And it's, I don't know. It's a wild thing to think of the Hulk getting out muscled and then just, I don't want to come
The
back
Hulk
out.
gets out muscled
No.
Actually, the Hulk gets out muscled all the time.
And I mean,
He doesn't ever
given
back down, but he gets out muscled all the time.
to
Bob
think
Thanos
Hulk
is
was
out
being a
muscled.
baby and was tired of fighting Banner's battles, which is fair, but there's a whole storyline with that.
I'm sorry. What was Banner's battle in Infinity War?
When
Was
I can't
Banner's
remember the
battle
name of
not
it.
dying?
You might
Because I feel
remember
like that's
though.
the Hulk's battle.
Remember, there was a storyline. I can't remember if it was Xavier. It might have been Doctor Strange, but they tried to have Banner and Hulk have a conversation with each other. And Hulk said something along the lines of he's tired of fighting his battles. And he goes, "It's our battles, it's your reason everybody's after us," or something like that. And they said they'd split up. And that's when somehow they found a way to separate Banner and the Hulk. And for a while there, like they were using Banner's intelligence, and they were using the Hulk had ran away somewhere. But then both of them at some point started to die, I guess. So they had to fuse them back together. Hulk got his ass beat because of Banner. It's a lame excuse. It was in the deleted scene.
No, yeah, it is a lame ass excuse. Because, I mean, so the Hulk is so afraid of Thanos that he's willing to die.
Oh, shit.
But if Bruce Banner puts a gun in his mouth, which he talks about doing throughout multiple Marvel films,
He said the other guy spit the bullet
in the
out.
mouth. Exactly, that's the quote. The other guy spits the bullet out. So you mean to expect me to believe that the guy that literally only exists on anger, basically, fear killed him? No,
Yeah.
no thanks.
Now, there's also a storyline where I think it was Doctor Strange that did it when they were trying to subdue the Hulk, and they tried to use fear, and he couldn't punch his way out of it, and him realizing he couldn't just use his physical strength to win kind of caused some conflict. But the way they're doing stuff is
not
just, I
new.
don't know.
That's like there's a lot of where, and in fact, that's kind of how that's kind of how the Mark Ruffalo hybrid that we know of today came to exist in the company, was because the two of them had to learn how to work together. That's kind of the whole, that's kind of the whole Hulk fucking story arc.
Bad
is
writing
that
killed Hulk.
Bruce
Yeah.
Banner and the Hulk learn how to coexist.
Yep. Oh, so they upgraded this level a lot. I realize where I'm at now, I think.
Like, you could have literally given us an entirely new Hulk movie that showcased them learning how to live with each other.
Yep. Oh, wow. They did add a lot. So this mission used to start here, but now it's way over here.
What's funny is how much you want to bet that here soon we're going to see Ant-Man suddenly become Tony Stark, which is bullshit and could have been avoided if we had just put a little bit more effort into Ant-Man, so that it was Ant-Man that developed Ultron, just like he did in the comics, which would have showcased Ant-Man's ingenious, but at the same time his flaws. I'm not saying you had to show Ant-Man bitch slapping his wife, but
You ready for
which,
this
by the
one
way,
though?
for those of you that don't know,
There's a
that happened. Ant-Man is a domestic abuse person.
rumor mill says that there won't be an Ant-Man much longer. Scott Lang's daughter is going to get the lead role. Scott Lang apparently is going to die, and they're going to go with a predominantly female Avengers from here on out.
Do it now.
About the only males that you will have will probably be Falcon Captain America and
Hands up.
I'm trying to remember. There's supposed to be another one. Spider-Man.
High ground. Copy that, entry team.
Get down.
I believe they might not bring Bucky back. Possibly.
Great work, entry team. Keep it up.
Black Panther's Suri. Their Tony Stark Iron Man person is going to be Riri,
Talk reporting.
which was her little
There's
teaser.
a couple of different people you can choose. Like, if you don't want to have Iron Man or
That's a
Tony
ring
Stark, you can
camera?
have
That's a
you
ring
can have
camera.
Warmonger, you can have the Iron Maiden. People that don't know, Iron Maiden, not just a band, but also a character, a black woman.
I don't know.
I'd rather have Iron Maiden than Warmonger, but that's only because I prefer the Warmonger from First and
Everything to
remember the
me
guy.
right now is set up for DC to take control. But
They won't.
DC also-
They just got rid of the best Superman they ever had.
yeah, their heads are so far up their ass that they can't even do that right. Like, who?
Literally. And if they've ever.
You get a bunch of people excited when they hear about a cameo, not even seeing it yet, a cameo of Henry Cavill as Superman and Black Adam, and DC's response is, well, it wasn't our idea, so everybody's gone. Nope, not doing it. Nope. What are you,
I heard
What are you
I heard
doing?
that The Rock, Black Adam, has done terrible.
you heard it?
I haven't seen it, but I heard that it's done terrible.
It was not a bad movie. I
I haven't
enjoyed
seen
it.
it.
Now, the problem
I
with the
kind of
movie,
don't want to see it because I only know Black Adam as
a villain.
kind of a villain. Like, I say kind of a villain because, like,
There's
it's just more of a. Black Adam has always just had a villainous approach to a good guy in the goal.
Talk to high ground.
so
Copy. EMTs and trailers are
when
standing
I first
by.
was introduced, it was always the villain to Shazam, even that, or
Yeah.
Captain
He's
Marvel,
always
if we
been the
really
villain.
want to do it.
Always been the villain to Shazam.
However, I think it was Justice League Unlimited, baby. Shut that boy in the throat. And they said that I couldn't do anything. I was trying to shoot. That's crazy.
Control the situation.
Well, they said they were trying to do things differently or something like that. And they turned Black Adam into an anti-hero. And this isn't the main universe though, but essentially you always keep Captain Marvel, Shazam on the left. You always keep Black Adam on the right. They are not to come in contact with each other,
Are you talking about politically?
pretty much.
Because that actually is pretty close to gospel.
Because-
Yeah,
They were saying
Black Adam has always been more of a hard right authoritarian.
he just wants to rule his own land, and they let him do that, and he stopped being a problem.
He's quite literally in DC. Black Adam is, if you were to go through all the comics, you would view Black Adam as a crueler Doctor Doom.
Yeah.
And Doctor Doom is a hero to his.
Oh, see that? That boy pulled a gun on me. He acted like he was on surrender, then he pulled a
Suspect
gun.
has expired.
Talk to entry
Like
team.
Doctor Doom is the reason I don't watch Fantastic Four movies when they eventually come
Talk
out.
to element. Copy.
Because I
So
know they're not going to do Doctor Doom right.
they never do Doctor Doom right.
No, he's supposed to be as smart, if not smarter. It's supposed to be always, almost always, in debate who's smarter.
Dr. Doom or
Reed
Reed
Richards
Richards.
Reed Richards is only supposed to come out on top as the more intelligent person in select, very specific scenarios. The rest of the time, it's supposed to be out.
Okay, so the Black Adam thing. So I saw that they turned him into an anti-hero, but this is like something relatively new. You mean you didn't like Doctor Doom in the last Fantastic Four movie? We don't talk about that, Ryan. We don't talk about that one, bro. That's
not,
another movie I just pretend
like,
doesn't
I mean, you
exist.
didn't like Doctor Doom in the last. I didn't
my
see the
God.
last Fantastic Four movie, but I did. In the last Doctor Strange movie, it made me appreciate their casting choice for Mr. Fantastic.
Yes, it was horrible.
No, their casting
No,
choice.
the
for
Fantastic
Mr.
Four
Fantastic. Oh, I was about to say their casting choice for Reed Richards. That I can't remember his name. The guy from The Office.
Oh,
Good
yeah.
That was a damn good choice for an acting. Like 10 out of 10. I actually really enjoy that, and I would love a good.
So, trying to think, who else would be an anti-hero? Dang, it's hard because I can't think of in period that I could compare them to. Lex Luthor and some of them. Punisher's a good one too. So when Punisher first came out, he was a bad guy, just straight up bad guy. He was F the police, F that. I'm tired of these people going to jail, getting out, and still causing problems.
When the Punisher first came out, he was written from the point of view of Daredevil and Spider-Man.
Yes.
He was written as a vigilante, as a bad vigilante. In other words, he was written as a vigilante, but he was written as the legal version of a vigilante.
Yeah.
The law makes a vigilante look like they're the absolute worst, no matter what, because that's that took the law into their own hands.
Yes. So.
And then you had him paired up against several heroes: Spider-Man, Daredevil, Wolverine. He had him paired up against several heroes that had a
I guess you could call Magneto one, but for mutant rights.
Anti-kill.
Yeah.
Well, Magneto became an anti-hero later.
The older I get, the more I see Magneto has always been an anti-hero. The older I get, and the more I understand about people and life.
Easy as you get older to look at Magneto and go, he went about it the wrong way, but he had the right idea.
I don't know if he did though.
Are we going off of the movies? Because the whole turning a senator into a pile of goop might not have been the right move.
What? So okay. So let's pretend this is real life. And
there was also, let's not forget that Magneto did for a more of his history than not. Magneto has had an anti-human
because of what humans do. And
no, I'm not saying that his viewpoint isn't necessarily justified. I'm just saying that for the majority, that was always the difference between Xavier and Magneto, is that Xavier was like, yeah, humans have done bad shit. We're human too. But whereas Magneto was always like, humans are the bad shit.
So as I got older, he's 100% right about humans. The mutants should be on top. And every single time in human history that we have the opportunity to do something right, whether it's people being different or whatever, we take advantage of them every single time. There's not a single point in human history where we don't take advantage of people. Whether you enslave them or enslave them one way or the other. Even
That's not the worst that we've done. we I don't argue slavery is worse than death, but that's just me.
yeah, it's this room. So he tried doing it the peaceful route, and you still have people who will literally enslave mutants
Hands up.
and force them in their carny shows, forcing them
Don't fucking
to do whatever they want, and all sorts of messed up things.
Suspect is breathing but
Building the
Talk to entry team.
I can't think, the
EMTs
big
and trailers are
robots,
standing
No?
by.
sentinels, and
Yeah,
literally
Sentinel.
putting them in concentration camps for mutants.
Okay, so it wasn't all of, and I'm not trying to defend the shitty action, but I do feel them point out.
Yeah, it wasn't all
all of
humans,
humankind that made the Sentinels. It was quite literally one man.
but they were pushing that hate.
Suspect is down but breathing.
That's all it takes. Isn't it?
Yeah.
Hell, Hitler was one man.
Yeah.
EMTs and trailers are standing by.
And, you know, let's say worst case scenario, Magneto wins. I don't believe Magneto would do the same things that happen when the humans win. And the humans win is enslaving people or forcing them to do their bidding or register in whatever camp.
But when it comes to the mutants, I think it would just be more of a straight up another Holocaust. And that was the biggest fear that Magneto had. Remember, no matter what version of the comics you're reading, if it involves Magneto, you're reading a version of the comics that involve a Holocaust.
Yep.
Because there is no universe that involves Magneto
Reporting.
Suspect is
that
breathing.
doesn't involve Magneto being in the Holocaust.
And
Make them stay.
There's universes where he's on the German side of the Holocaust,
there's
which that's some weird shit.
there's
But
one where they actually were able to talk Magneto down, and he leaves to his little meteorite planet, moon thing, asteroid M or whatever, and
right, yeah, their movie write-off. We don't want to give the mutant continent like they had in the actual comic.
so everything was
By the way,
supposed to be
mutants-
peaceful, and you find out they're still enslaving mutants. They're still doing all sorts of bad to them, and somebody dies on the X-Men side, and Cyclops is like, Charles, you know, we gotta do something, man. Like, they're killing us. Well, we gotta keep trying to talk to them. Like, we've been trying to talk to them for years, and they keep killing us. Like, you know, something else has to be done. And then he was like, well,
And in
maybe
the comics, it does reach that breaking point where
yes, because that's when
what's
he
it
ends
called?
up having to kill him.
Zarkov is Zarkovia, something like that, is the name of the continent that they founded. And at this point in the story, Xavier could walk again. He was wearing what they call
Ah,
the
he
cerebral
got me.
helmet.
Nope, no, he didn't. I'm alive.
And he could walk at this point, and him and Magneto were banded together, and they just flat out said, hey, this is a safe haven for mutants.
Notifying
If we find out you're taking action against mutants, we're waging war on you. If you don't bug us, we won't bug you. If you leave mutants alone, mutants will leave you
But
alone.
unconscious.
We tried, and even Xavier says, we tried to live in coexistence, didn't work, so now you're gonna leave us the fuck alone. Like, in the current modern era, Magneto is amazing, which Magneto was always, but Magneto has also smoothed out some of his more rough edges, whereas most versions of Magneto that the layman would know of is a Magneto that just wants to exterminate humankind in order literally in the same vein that Homo sapiens eliminated Homo erectus. Magneto wants mutants to eliminate them. But that's not the case anymore in current era of the comics. Magneto's like, no, yeah, I was wrong. We shouldn't eliminate each other. We're just going to naturally replace you because science. Because this is the natural evolution of things. You will bow to it. You will let the people that have these genetic differences come here, or you'll die.
Mm-hmm.
Which is kind of like we are currently in our lifetime. We are in Magneto's final form.
Mm-hmm.
Which, for anybody that doesn't know, Magneto is so powerful that I could rip out his heart with my bare hands, and his power over magnetism is so strong that he can manipulate the iron in his blood to keep it pumping, so that without an actual human heart, he can live. He needs that heart to live.
Didn't that turn him into Onslaught or something like that?
That involved other factors.
Gotcha.
Like,
all right, there's bad
other
guys somewhere.
factors can come into play on that. But what I'm getting at is that Magneto can quite literally sustain without the organ needed to sustain.
Life. Yep.
Because his powers over magnetism are so strong. He could quite literally throw the planet out of its orbit because of his powers over electromagnetism.
Good old Magneto.
That's why Magneto versus Wolverine is such an interesting fight.
Dumb.
Because they're the only people that could potentially beat each other.
I don't think there is a universe where, in a fair fight, Magneto would ever lose to Wolverine.
I can give you one right now.
How? Or unless you're talking
universe,
all bone.
The universe where Wolverine doesn't have adamantium.
And how would he even get close? There's blood, or there's iron in your blood. There's no way.
Okay, so you're talking about then you want to hypothesize about the current gen ultimate strength Magneto against
any Wolverine.
Wolverine that doesn't have his adamantium skeleton. I can give you that, and that's something that's just simple.
Why can't I shoot?
With the exception of Deadpool.
There we go.
Actually, no, Deadpool.
That's weird.
Fun. That's fun. They're actually, I don't. I'm sorry. With the exception of Deadpool, there isn't a Marvel. There are maybe one or two Marvel characters besides Deadpool with a healing factor stronger than Wolverine.
Yeah, it's not too many.
This is the reason why that Magneto could quite literally rip all the adamantium
out of Wolverine.
From Wolverine's fucking body, and he lived, because Wolverine quite literally only needs to survive on a molecular level.
Is his that good to survive that much?
I actually, you know what? You're right. I don't think it's a molecular thing.
I know Deadpool's is.
Whichever one of those two is not the smallest, either molecular or atomic, because Deadpool outdoes Wolverine in healing factor.
Yeah.
But what I'm getting at is Wolverine's healing factor cannot be overridden. It's not like the Hulk. Hulk's healing factor can be overridden. You can quite literally cause so much damage to the Hulk that his healing factor is overridden and that it prioritizes so much towards healing that it doesn't continuously reproduce that emotion, that chemical of rage, and so that Hulk would revert back to Bruce Banner and you kill him pretty easily. You can't do that with Wolverine.
I was if you
Do that with Deadpool.
try and kill him, yeah, you'll kill Hulk and Banner, but then you'll be left with Maestro.
Now, everything that the comics has to offer says that Deadpool's healing factor is better than the Hulk than Wolverine's. But everything that has ever been shown about Wolverine versus Magneto would show that, and again, I'm not saying that Wolverine in any capacity could beat Magneto. What I'm saying is that all the evidence shows that Wolverine is pretty much your only best. A Wolverine with no adamantium is your only best at beating Magneto. Because then yeah, you're right. Then he has to rely on the iron in your blood. But now he has to rely on the iron in the blood of a being that has an almost infinite healing factor.
Yep.
And in order for one to beat the other, one of them has to fucking die.
So
And in that
the issue
matchup,
would be Magneto can die, kind of,
exactly.
if he's hurt enough. Whereas Wolverine, you would end up having to trap him somehow.
If I put 3 claws into Magneto's brain, your power over over magnetism and the ability to manipulate the iron in your blood isn't going to do you any good because I've severed all the functions.
How would he get
Whereas
close enough for that?
Wolverine has had that happen 1,000 times over. And you're right, you do have to get close enough for that to happen. That's the trick. Nobody said this was going to be a fucking easy fight or that I can tell you how they did it. I'm just telling you who has the best chance.
Jean Grey.
Magneto has both defeated Jean Grey and the Phoenix Force in the comics.
But
now
they could be.
Wolverine's also defeated the Phoenix Force in the comics. Wolverine hasn't defeated Jean Grey technically because Wolverine has had no reason to fight Jean Grey.
Oh, dude, they shot the dog? What the hell? You guys are monsters. Monsters. That was an unauthorized use of force. He must have already been dead. Alright, I have not seen anybody. There used to be a tunnel.
Does Magneto's powers can Magneto control vibranium?
Good question. I would argue he should be able to, except vibranium's not necessarily metal.
Does it have to be metal?
Yeah, that's where it gets kind of tricky. I'm like, he should be able to.
Does it just have to be metal?
Because
not all metal.
He should be able to, because didn't Magneto fight Thor at one point and he was able to stop Mjolnir because it's made of Uru metal or space metal?
I cannot voice an opinion on that, although I would like to point out that Mjolnir is made from a dying star, so I don't know how that factors in.
Yeah, that's that Uru metal or whatever. I think that's what they called it. Uru.
I think they actually just, well, I don't.
Hold
I'm
on.
not the big.
We got something from Ryan. Unlike adamantium, Magneto cannot manipulate vibranium, not if it's pure. Vibranium is a rare extraterrestrial metallic ore. It has near mystical properties that allow for energy manipulation and more. There is a Wakandan isotope and an Antarctic isotope, and both of them are completely unaffected by Magneto's powers. So that's what I was wondering. I was like, I thought he controlled Thor's hammer at one point, so I was thinking maybe, but vibranium's like different.
So what I'm hearing here is that theoretically, Magneto could not stop Captain America's shield.
Depends
Is that
on
what
which
is that what
one.
is that what we're saying?
So
Are we really saying that Captain America could beat? Well, no, just because Captain America could use his shield doesn't mean he could beat Magneto.
well,
But are
it
we
depends
really
on
saying
what
that Captain
shield he
America has a
has.
chance? His vibranium. His shield is made of
He has
pure vibranium.
he has more than one. He has a shield that's a
Well, he
combination
has his
of
OG shield. I don't know if anybody here remembers
yeah, Ryan
the
said the
base
same
shield.
thing, depends on which shield. So it's his vibranium
There was that
shield.
OG shield
He
that
has
just
he has an
shield.
adamantium shield now, I believe, and then there's a hybrid of vibranium and adamantium that's also mixed that he has.
So if it was just the OG vibranium shield, Magneto couldn't stop it.
Theoretically, it seems like he shouldn't
So
be able
are
to.
we theorizing that Captain America could theoretically beat Magneto based on physical prowess alone? And I
See,
say
there's
it like
other
that for a
factors that
reason.
go into it too, though.
Captain America is technically the greatest military strategic mind on the face of the earth, past, present, or future.
Hands up now. Drop your knees.
Like, you do not find a better master of strategy than Captain
Yes.
America. That's kind of one of his quote unquote powers.
Yeah. Now,
So are we saying
Let's
that
get
Captain
dark up here.
America in a one-on-one could beat Magneto? Because as much as I want to believe that Chris Evans could beat him, and I
I
say
don't
Chris
think
Evans,
anybody could beat Magneto
Captain
one-on-one,
America,
though.
I'll die on this hill.
Can anyone beat
I-
Magneto one-on-one?
No, because people have.
Who?
Well, what are we calling beaten?
I'm
Are we
talking.
calling? You're talking about DED dead? Or are you
Mm.
talking you lose the fight?
Lose the fight, I guess.
He's stable.
Several people do that. That's not an impressive feat. Oh, it's an impressive feat, but several people do that.
I don't think I've ever seen Magneto lose one. Magneto, I've seen take on the X-Men by
Apocalypse.
himself.
First and foremost, Apocalypse.
Starting out with a banger. Okay, I'll give you that.
Let's just start that out right out the gate.
Magneto is
and
strong
then
as
there-
fuck. Depends on who's writing the story. Yeah,
There
because
was
Magneto, who
one of the Inhumans was able to wipe out 98% of the population of Zarkoa. I think that's the name of the mutant continent that they founded
Yeah.
and created. There was one of the Inhumans. Remember,
he said Magneto
Inhuman-
killed Apocalypse.
are we talking about he killed him eventually? We were just talking about losing fights.
So again,
If
they
you're
always
gonna
try
go
and
with
say
the overall
Magneto's a
picture,
bad
that's not
guy,
fair.
but Magneto
I
is
wasn't saying that.
constantly
I
giving
was not
people
saying.
chances. If Magneto was to stop giving chances and he's just going straight for the kill, like how Wolverine does sometimes, I don't know who could take Magneto on a straight-on fight, because he'll
I
know you're
think-
there before you're there.
I think that if we're talking about just a murderous, rampaging Magneto, we're just talking about a Magneto that just like is going to they're going to go all out. They're going to go 100%. They're going to
Mm-hmm.
they're going to act like an infantry and act with swift, decisive, violent action.
Yes.
I still think that there are people that could beat him. It's a small list. Very small list. Very, very, very small list.
Although I read on
Do it now.
there's some I don't know if I should call them short stories or what, but it shows how each mutant would be affected if they would surrender to Apocalypse and allow him to unlock their ultimate potential. And Storm and Gambit and Magneto, I believe, were the top three where you'd be done. There'd be nothing you could do.
I can believe some of that because
They
without
said, so you know, Gambit usually
Apocalypse, without your input of
charges
Apocalypse
kinetic energy.
unlocking their ultimate power, Storm used to be worshipped as a goddess in the canon.
Storm
is quite literally a goddess in some cultures.
One of Storm's things that they don't talk
like
about
to
a
argue
lot
one of the most
is
badass
she's
things
not affected
the
by her
X-Men
own
has ever
weather.
given us is one of the most badass things the X-Men has ever given us isn't a story of how those that are different from us should be accepted. It's the story of how this black woman decided to be a god.
Mm-hmm. So she's not affected by her own weather. And in her ultimate form, she could put the Earth into another ice age easily, within seconds.
Easily.
Not like, oh, it's slowly
100%.
getting cold. We need to hurry up and get to her. No, like within seconds.
No, yeah, she could quite literally put the Earth into an ice age faster than if the sun ceased to exist.
Yes.
Because if the sun ceased to exist, it would take 8 minutes for its light to stop reaching us, and Storm could put us in an ice age before that.
Yes.
Storm could flood the Earth in
Now,
8 minutes.
On Gambit, on his ultimate form, you know, he charges
I
kinetic
would be
energy
interested
and
to hear how
throws it.
Gambit's on Omega level.
He does not need
Copy that.
to have an item to charge it with energy.
Entry team suspects have taken
He
refuge
just
and
needs
are
to
refusing
know
to cooperate.
what he wants to charge, and then he can do it. So, let's say,
Because of a little bit of Creole now, huh?
let's say you were
that southern
pissing
twang.
Gambit off or something like that, right? Well, it's not like he needs to see you. He just needs to, like, essentially focus on you, especially with Cerebro or whatever. As soon as he knows where you are, he'll cause you to spontaneously combust.
Well, I mean, if we're talking about potential power, Nightcrawler is potentially
No, this
insane.
was when they were talking. I can't remember if they actually wrote it out or what it was, but it was showing all of them with their Omega levels or whatever.
Medical aid.
And then
I
Magneto,
feel
he
very
can
dirty
control
hearing like that.
the gravitational pull across the entire planet. So if you exist on this planet, gravity's touching you, he can get you at any time.
Suspect is down but breathing. He's stable.
Like, again, doesn't need to see you, doesn't need to be by you.
Clean house.
Essentially, just if he knows where you are, you're done. Like, there's no, like, you can't. How do you beat that? Unless you're like a Saiyan and you travel under
It brings
gravity.
me into this. Can we just take a moment to appreciate how Marvel has gone out of its way to make a canonical difference between superpowered beings like Spider-Man, hyper-intelligent beings like Iron Man, demigods like Thor, people given their abilities like Doctor Strange, because Doctor Strange didn't have any. Doctor Strange was just a fucking damn good surgeon before he was the master of mysticism.
Sweet is mesmerized,
And then, after all that, after all those categories,
on that glass of wine, you know what I'm saying? run me a bath.
Mutants
Before I kick some of that
literally
ass.
in the Marvel canon do not fall under any of those categories. Mutants, like the X-Men,
Hey, Kronos.
literally...
Real quick. Pancake says hi.
It only hurts for a little bit.
Yeah. Small dose
miss-
spit. What?
I miss it.
Kill the music.
How did they do that?
This is the best I can do, everyone.
It's the family stream across
I'm
the line.
sorry. I promise my streams, my YouTube video, everything will return one day. I'm not gonna give you a date because I'm still waiting on the goddamn state to come mark lines. So that way the internet company come lay the cables, come give me the access to fucking proper society. But for those of you that remember,
And when I
me
did,
feel,
it was saying I'm offline.
I'll be damned if it's
And I
not
look
a
over and
self-esteem.
showing stream
Self-esteem. Hey, creepier frog. I just met you today.
So like
I
you
was,
were able
I was
to
just
watch
telling
or
I was
see
just telling my wife
everything.
yesterday that like, no, yeah,
Like-
content creation is dead. I'm gonna have to start from ground zero, like I never did it before. And all y'all came out of the woodwork without knowing I said that, and me wrong. And I'll be goddamn.
It,
I'll be good people. Make me feel good. You
You
should.
make me feel
I'm not a good
wanted.
person.
we're having some nerd talk as I play some Ready or Not. No shame
Tell
in
you
our
what.
game.
I'll tell you what, everyone. Whenever we get the Wi-Fi, I'll put a hook in my gills.
So,
We'll all
another
drink Bailey's
thing,
from a shoe.
Copy that.
Charles Xavier
Strike trailers.
with the I'm disrespectful.
Where are you
Hey,
gonna go with
Mr.
this?
Pain
This
Sorrow.
is one of the most. This is the controversy. Charles Xavier.
Charles
Controversy.
Xavier with what was it? The ultimate one? I feel like it's ultimate. I don't know if you've seen it. Essentially, he made Cerebro portable. He wears like a bluish black outfit.
Yeah. That's actually the more famous, current, up to date. Yeah, because he can walk.
Yes. He can walk.
Yeah.
Just because.
And it's funny 'cause he actually gets assassinated just after they found their continent, their first continent. And I say assassinated in air quotes because 2 issues later, back, which is a common thing in this, but in this particular fucking comic series, they're like, oh yeah, there's a reason.
You're good, Pancake. I
Oh,
needed
yeah.
a jam anyway. But so that one at his strongest could also do some damage depending on who's writing. Because
Charles Xavier could technically enslave the entirety of the
Human
human
race.
race in
and no one
12
would know what
hours.
was happening.
Calm down.
Yes.
No, they wouldn't. They wouldn't. They wouldn't have any idea.
Crazy.
And he
And-
could do that without Cerebro, by
Yes,
the
I was
way.
gonna say that's without Cerebro. With
That was why I
Cerebro,
gave you
it's
that.
not
That's why,
just the
that's why I
Earth.
threw out that arbitrary time limit of 12 hours.
Yeah.
In 12 hours, without Cerebro, he could enslave the entirety of Homo sapiens. There are quite a few mutants that wouldn't.
Come on with it.
But
then.
funny enough, this ties into what I was saying earlier. Because like,
They're in my way. I can't get out.
Spider-Man, for example, would be affected by a potential Charles Xavier world domination. And fun fact, Magneto does not view people like Spider-Man as a mutant.
Yeah, because he
They
wasn't
view
born with a gene.
Spider-Man, exactly. He views Spider-Man as a human, as a freak.
Wow. We got served up.
Report to Tom for debrief.
Which I don't think enough comics point out the irony of Magneto's hypocrisy. Because, like, what is the difference between Wolverine and Spider-Man?
Wolverine's a
Other than
mutant.
Spider-Man got bit by a spider and Wolverine was born that way.
Wolverine originally had the bone claws plus the healing factor and the his senses, like his hearing
No,
and
yeah.
smelling.
Born that way.
Yeah,
In other words, born that way.
yeah, he was born that way. Now he
what
was
makes him-
enhanced, I guess.
let's pretend you're Magneto, Trey. You're
Mhm.
Magneto right now.
Mhm.
What is the difference between Wolverine, between Logan, and Peter?
Peter wasn't born with spider abilities. It was a radioactive bug that bit him. Before that bug bit
Why
him,
wouldn't-
he was just a normal nerd. Whereas Logan,
And he's
he
just,
had the
yeah,
senses
he
and
is
healing
just
factor and
as
all that.
accepted. He is just as rejected by society in as much math as any X.
I would agree, and we could agree.
Would have
But
to
I
agree
think
because
he's
I
only about
have
mutant rights.
literally a mountain of evidence
So,
that Spider-Man is discriminated against.
which this is where it gets kind
Spider-Man
of
could file a
weird.
fucking Spider-Man could file a lawsuit for all the discrimination.
The way that the Sentinels locate mutants is because of their DNA.
Genetic.
It would not locate
Genetic.
Spider-Man, depending on who's writing. So
Okay, so is that where we draw the line? Is that where Magneto draws the line? Who's put into the concentration camp and who isn't?
I don't think Magneto would have a concentration camp though.
No, we just said. I said
But
you're
yeah,
Magneto.
And
And
I would
also,
argue
it
that
is
he
canonically in the comics that Magneto does not view people like Spider-Man, aka people that got their powers from non-Earth reasons, non-genetic reasons, because mutants do not exist because some fucking toxic sludge got thrown into your eyes or a radioactive spider bit you. Mutants exist because two people fucked and gave birth.
Yeah.
And in Magneto's eyes, that's the big difference. Which I feel like, and I say I feel like this is some grand revelation instead of something that's been a talking point for decades. But that's kind of the fatal flaw of Magneto, is that if you're not a mutant, specifically a mutant, you're a Homo sapien. Basically, Magneto is the superpowered equivalent of if you're not straight, you're gay.
Yeah.
Tell me, change my mind.
That looks like Ready or Not's freezing up. But nah, I could agree with that. But Magneto only does things to the
He has
bathroom
no
stalls
viewpoint,
to for
no
mutant
frame of
kind.
reference for the hardships of people that have suffered the same injustice as him.
And I feel like that depends on the writer. Because Magneto doesn't go out
throughout-
there attacking
I would argue
like
that
random
throughout
people.
all of the canonical history of the X-Men, throughout at least all the canonical history of Magneto, and again, right this moment, as me and you are speaking, canonically, Magneto is a hero. He's redeemed his ways. In the year of our Lord 2023, you pick up a comic that has Magneto in it, chances are he's a good guy.
And I feel like that's the
Like,
new
he's
writers
learned-
kind of messing it up a little bit.
It's kind of been that way for 20 years. And it's been heading that way for 35. In fact, you could argue Magneto is one of the original anti-heroes.
Yes. Agreed.
Because you could never say that Magneto. What makes a
Okay.
villain?
So
A villain is made by his goal.
let's talk villains real quick, just real fast.
Okay.
So
I love villains.
where I think Magneto kind of is separate, if you look at the Joker, Joker doesn't care who he hurts. He's dropping bombs throughout the city, hurting everybody. And let's say Marvel's version.
Driven insane by unknown events, then we have various backstories.
Then you have like the Green Goblin or any of the goblins dropping bombs in town. Doesn't care
Is that
who it
really
hurts.
any of the goblins? Like, there's not just two of them.
No,
There's Green and Hob.
Hob. There's some more now. I can't
I
remember
would
all their
love to.
names.
I don't know. I do not know of any other goblins besides the. I've never heard of a goblin that wasn't Green or Hob.
I'll have to look it up when I get a chance. They're newer.
Personally, just a side note, but personally, just to start arguments, and because it's true, I was more of a hobgoblin.
Okay.
Goblin.
So
That was it.
they all just attack randomly. They don't care, right?
No, their goal is to either cause chaos or to cause misery to Spider-Man, Batman.
Yes. Magneto is trying to help mutants and mutant kind. He is old, and in his backstory, it shows him and
He's a Holocaust
Xavier.
survivor.
Yes, a Holocaust survivor. So he was persecuted because he was Jewish, and he was persecuted because he's a mutant. He's been attacked both ways. He has tried doing things the right way for, let's just say 30 years. I know it's longer, but let's just say 30 years he's been trying to do it the right way, and
Let me stop you real
humans
quick.
just aren't doing it. Yeah.
Because from my understanding, he didn't start doing things the, we'll call it quote unquote right way, aka what we would classify the moral or ethical way. He didn't start that way. From my understanding, he more learned that it was either kill or be killed. It was either cruel or be the victim of cruelty.
Suspect is down but breathing. He's stable.
But
and he's ready for
he's
attack.
not going out there and hurting innocent random people. He
doesn't
9
view
times out of
human
10
beings as human as innocent.
No, but I mean he's not going blowing up cities for no reason. Most of the time that the X-Men are stopping him or whatever, he's trying to do something to help mutants. Period. Like, it's not he's not like evil, maniacal, take over the world per se. There's always a reason for it.
Well, no, Magneto's never been a kill off Homo sapiens because I don't like Homo sapien kind of guy. He's always, especially in his early years, he was always a kill off Homo sapiens guy. Kill all Homo sapiens simply because if you don't. He carried the trauma of the Holocaust with him.
Yes.
Throughout most of his life, and in his viewpoint, it was either kill all the Homo sapiens or the Holocaust will happen.
Yep.
That was Magneto.
You see
So,
that it does happen.
He was wrong, but the redeeming point of Magneto, at least in my eyes, was always that.
What do you mean he was wrong?
No, I mean that he was wrong in that I more subscribe to the Charles Xavier line of thought in that the majority of humanity isn't going to Holocaust mutants.
So, okay.
Whereas Magneto always held the
What
viewpoint
happens to the
of,
mutants when
if you
Magneto
give them a
loses?
hint,
When
well,
Magneto
depends on
loses,
that.
they completely
If
start
you ask
wiping out all the
Magneto,
mutants.
if you ask Magneto what happens if he loses, Magneto would tell you that Homo Superior, which is
Yeah.
a scientification for me. According to Magneto, Homo Superior would be exterminated in the same way that the Germans tried to exterminate Jew.
See, I've
But
never seen
you
that
have to,
part of him do that.
I have. There are so many comics where he directly linked the Germans' treatment of the Jewish people, and also keep in mind that in the X-Men comics, or at least in general in Marvel comics, the Nazis
Got a dead suspect here.
See,
didn't just
this must have messed
gas
up because now
chamber
there's a cave
Jews.
here.
They
with your mission.
the Nazis in the Marvel comics
Roger that.
took
Trailers incoming.
mutants
Proceed with caution.
away from the showers and experimented on them up until the point of those people's death. So Magneto quite literally saw the cruelest that human beings could be towards those that were different from what they perceived as the norm. Nobody has ever argued that Magneto's standpoint was unrealistic or unreasonable.
Affirmative, entry team.
Everyone chose, especially in the earlier days, to side with Xavier for public because Xavier always had the mind frame that it was a salvageable situation, that it was almost like an unwritten dialogue that Xavier always believed Homo Superior would
It is hard to
replace
see
Homo
this
erectus, but it was almost a difference of Xavier believed that it should be done naturally through the passage of time versus Magneto's viewpoint of it should be the same stance that Homo erectus
This is talk.
took upon, Homo sapiens took upon Homo erectus, aka either kill or breed them out. Because remember, Neanderthals did exist.
Mm-hmm.
Like the X-Men's history and ideology is based on a combination of the American Civil Rights Movement and human history of evolution.
Mm-hmm.
So the X-Men were always meant to portray all of the sides of that argument. All the sides of that argument are that, much like Magneto always believed, another better advanced version of us is going to come out. They're going to wipe us out. They're going to wipe us out. It's either going to be through breeding, through violence,
Hands up!
or both. And he says that because that's how he saw the Germans try to exterminate. He saw that personally. And he's also an incredibly intelligent human being that can just reflect and see that is exactly how
What the
Homo
heck?
sapiens,
A knife.
aka you and I, exterminated Homo erectus, aka what we called the Neanderthal. We exterminated the Neanderthal through a combination of warfare and good dicking.
Suspect DOA.
And in fact, most archaeologists in the real world today would argue that Homo erectus was bred out more than it was killed out by Homo sapiens.
Yeah.
Drop your weapons!
In fact, most people that you find that have the we'll call it the German stereotype for the Jewish nose. Most of them actually have a little bit, just a hair more Neanderthal
Talk to
DNA in them than
Copy that,
other
entry team.
people.
Notifying morgue.
There was an evolutionary reason for that big nose. That big schnoz was designed because, you know, Neanderthals had to use all the senses.
Yeah. I just gotta find the 2 things of crystal meth, and I'm good. You're like, what are you doing?
What I'm getting here, the Magneto has always been right.
Yes.
And Magneto's goals are never what made him a villain.
Hey, what's up, Jay?
The route that he took to achieve those goals that made us view him as a villain. And the only reason we ever viewed Magneto as a villain in the first place is because we had somebody like Charles Xavier.
But see,
Just put
if we're
blind faith into humanity.
if we're talking, if you wanted to lower the amount of casualties and you wanted things done the absolute right way to limit casualties on either side, I could argue that Xavier is the worst villain in X-Men because his way of doing things prolongs everything being done, and a lot of innocent people die because of it.
I can see your point of view because from your point of view, what your point of view doesn't verbally say is that the other side, aka you and me, were being bred out.
So,
much like Native American or African or Aboriginal were bred out.
but there are more normal people than there are mutants. And the way that the humans are doing it, not all humans are bad. Not all of them are bad. I want to say that.
No,
but,
Xavier has always believed that there was more good than bad.
Yes. I
feel like that was the main reason we rallied behind Xavier. We all identified with the hope.
Assistance is standing by.
So
more good than bad.
Xavier's way, which Xavier almost is no better than an African warlord who trains child soldiers.
Or we say almost better. He's almost no better. Like Xavier didn't train child soldiers.
Because
so that's a nice little. But I'm just gonna call you out on that right now. Xavier trained child soldiers.
Yes, he did.
You want to make the comparison to African warlords?
Yeah.
He's literally no better. He's just more empathetic.
Yeah.
He just has more of a conscience and more emotional self-awareness than your average African warlord. Which I can only say because I don't know that many African warlords. I don't know. Maybe there is a Charles Xavier in Nigeria. I don't know. When we say African warlords, you're covering a whole big ass continent.
Mm-hmm. With the child soldiers and whatnot. But
I don't know, is Rogue a child soldier?
You said is Rogue? Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say yeah.
Yeah. Actually, what makes somebody a child soldier?
Hold on. All right, everybody. We're at the 2 hour, 39 minute mark. It is 1:04 in the morning. I got to go to work. So we're going to end it there. If y'all ever want to join our nerd discussions and talks or whatever, hey, Discord's open. You can find us on Twitter, and whatever.
Yeah,
Other
don't worry.
socials.
I have no Wi-Fi, and I'm lonely as fuck. I'll be here. So if y'all need,
If you're wondering
if you
who I
want
was
to fight a
talking about
fight,
this whole time, I should have been gave a shout out. It is Chrono Stampede, also a fellow vet. Let's get the shout out. It's always the pizza party.
305.
Pizza race
All right,
day.
we're getting there.
oh, we pizza gating
We
up
are
in here.
getting there.
Yeah.
Oh, you are? I'm gonna call the
No,
cops.
FBI, open up.
305. We are getting there. All right.
Who we gonna
Shaved off
raid?
6 seconds off that off our previous race time.
I never would have thought I'd have gotten you in a pizza gate joke, but goddamn.
Nah, I
Of
knew
course, I'm
about
gonna get you whenever I can't be live to record it.
it. Hey, I wear that badge with honor. I'm just playing. Okay, so
Look, some of y'all like pizza. I like Wayfair. It's just me.
we got J Wade, we got Ratchet Homie, and we got Bevins.
Is DJ streaming right now?
Is DJ?
Yeah, double
didn't-
DJ.
No, I think he's also caught up with work and life right now. I haven't had an opportunity to talk to him really. On my list of
I
people
haven't.
to
I
holler at.
legit have not been able to keep. I. That's one of the shittiest things about this. I haven't been able to keep up in live, or I get a couple of notifications, and I get to see. I get
Let's read
all the
Bevins.
notifications of the streams that I want to be in.
Right?
Like a
Read
good buddy of
Bevins.
mine has been streaming all sorts of shit that he never streams normally, and this isn't fair. I can't be there.
All right, everybody, we're gonna raid Bevins. He's a cool dude. Met him from the BSC. Y'all be cool. It's 2 days in a row. We'll see how many days I get in a row streaming before life tries to shove a boot up my butt and doesn't let me do what I want.
Tell you what, how about this? You stream every day until I
Shoot, I wish.
you can
Good
take a
night,
break.
everybody. All right. Champ with the subscribe, Creepy Frog, Double Down for the follow. Y'all be easy now. If it works for me.
Well, I think you should try Marvel Snap.
But the way my wallet's set up.
I think you should try some Marvel Snap. I think you actually might like it.
Mr. Pain and Sorrow, thank you for the raid, homie. Appreciate you.
Yeah, because
Sir.
the more you level up strength, the more the soul.
I just heard my name from a bunch of people.
The more you can put into those.
I don't know. I'm in a weird boat right now where like I've